Man, what's good, YouTube? It's your boy Sam, 2 times back at y'all boys with another reaction, feel me? As y'all know, we lost in the Super Bowl last night to the Kansas City Chiefs, man. Real controversial call. We're gonna get into this first take clip. 3, 2, 1, screen recording starting now.
Pulled the jersey, they called holding. I was hoping they would let it ride, but it wasn't holding.
Is that something they typically let ride?
I'm not sure. I think based off the playoff games.
I think he's just taking the high road, because honestly, bro, I watched that shit probably 50 times last night, bro. I honestly do not think that was a holding call, bro. But hey, we'll never know what Jalen Hurts and the Eagles would have did after, because they made the call, bro.
That we were in playoff games that I saw, sometimes refs let some things like that go, just spin on the ref.
All right, so the referee crew was asked how much debate there was amongst the crew when that flag was thrown. Head official Carl Sheffer said there was no debate, just making sure that he had. And once he told us what he had, he went about our business. Dan Orlovsky joining us now from New York City. Dan, good morning. You got us?
What up? I got you.
Hey. Do you have a problem with that holding call, Dan?
I do.
Damn right.
I do. The reality
Damn
is
right.
57 minutes plus in that football game, there wasn't a single holding penalty thrown. There was one pass interference flag that was thrown, not a single holding penalty. So the theme of the game is in many ways like referees are allowing those guys to play. And when I watch that play, two things that stand out to me are that's the play that we're throwing a holding penalty on. Is there a tug and a hold? Of course there is. And everybody, I've heard defensive players say millions of times there is on every single play. Great. So that's the one. This is the one that stands out. And the most I guess, standout thing to me is body language post-play. Juju Smith-Schuster never intimates to the officials, what are we looking at? And then, 3rd and 8, he's the guy running the winning route, and he is the guy that can feel a hold or a tug better than anybody can see it. And he doesn't have any type of body language towards the officials of going, where's the flag? How did you miss that? That's such a missed call. And so the reality of me watching that, and I was at the game, and I'm watching their sideline for Kansas City, and I'm watching Juju, and there's nothing like them going on, throwing arms up in the air and disappointment of you missed a call. And the fact that they...
Chips. Fritos, man.
College or pro ball? Boy.
College.
Maybe I'm Patrick Mahomes nuts, boy. I'm trying to tell you.
Went that long in the game without throwing a penalty when it comes to holding, and that's the one that we're going to...
That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of other holding calls they could have called if we was calling dumb calls like that, bro. There's a lot of other holding calls y'all could have called, bro. But y'all call that.
Throw the flag on. I think it's a bad call. 16 hours after the game, I still think it's a bad call. Even Bradbury admitting he did hold, yes. I still think it's a bad call because of what it was
all the calls
leading
they missed
into that moment. And then watching the wide receivers' body language or lack thereof after it. I think it's a bad call. Bad call.
Dan, they already threw the flag though. Like the bench doesn't have to react in any way because they're looking at the yellow laundry on the field. They can see it.
What about Juju?
Like Juju. So now what you're saying is we are measuring how egregious a hold is based off the level of whining that goes along.
Boy. It's crazy how much they pay these boys to get on TV and do these damn narratives, bro. RC, you know in your damn right mind, that is not a right call. If that's the case, bro, they should have called 5, 10 holding penalties through the whole game, bro. Because we all know the corners was holding the whole game, bro. Play the game back if you watch the Super Bowl, bro. There could have been a lot more holding calls, but y'all called this one, bro. That's crazy to me, bro.
The call. We talked about this earlier, Dan. You mentioned the call early on in the game on the slant where he looked like he tugged him a little bit before he wrapped around with the front hand to try to knock the ball down. That's at the point of attack. That's Juju thinking, I'm about to catch the ball. I'm emotional because I felt like I got tugged right at that moment. He was held at the start of the route. Juju might not know the rule. Juju might have think he got clamped up. When you look at this play, you can't, and I'm sitting with great basketball minds here. This is basically saying because you let calls go or because Michael Jordan or LeBron James or whoever it is trying to finish the game and they get hit on the elbow, we have to swallow our whistle right now because we'll give up 2 free throws. No, they're supposed to make that call because it's holding.
Let me ask you
That's
this,
it.
too.
he did it twice.
Yes.
And that's what, when I looked at it again, it's twice. By the way, it isn't egregious. Sometimes there's shades of gray. And part of me wishes, because of the way that game was going, that there hadn't been a call. But when you look at it,
I agree with that, though.
twice. And so, Dan, I'm thinking, if he doesn't come back and he spins him, and one of the things always I love listening to and talking to officials about things they're looking for in multiple sports, but in pro football, the guys always talk about in the NFL, spinning, moving him. He did move him, and so I'm thinking, oh, wow. They didn't get hosed, Dan. I hear what you're saying, by the way. You make great points. They didn't get hosed with the call. The call, do you swallow the whistle in that case? Do you do something that's right out in the open? And the flag was down. They were definitive about the call, at least. They didn't take their time. They weren't debating it in their minds. I'm like, you know what? You got to let it go. Is it the worst thing in the world? They get hosed. Is it like a pass interference penalty not called in New Orleans? No. It wasn't like that.
No,
Right.
Well, listen, let me say this. I get where Dan is coming from. I just don't think, respectfully, he's explaining it right. Let me break this down for y'all, because I think, especially you, Wilbon, you're going to appreciate where I'm going when we think about basketball. And we think about officials like Joey Crawford, Steve Javie, and some of the great officials, Dick Pavetta, even though Nick Pavetta, as they used to joke and call him, and all of this other stuff in basketball and football, but in football, I understand where you're coming from. The call was the right call. There's no disputing that. There was definitely holding. Ryan, we're not refuting that. Here's what I want y'all to think about for a second. Moments matter. Moments in sports history matter.
They do.
The theater of sports is what we pay to see. You are in a situation where you're driving downfield. If that call isn't called, Kansas City kicks a field goal. They go up 3 anyway. But instead of 8 seconds on the clock, or 4 seconds on the clock, now you got under 2 minutes. Jalen Hurts has handed the ball, and Jalen Hurts at that moment has the ball with under 2 minutes left. After Patrick Mahomes, I don't even care about the timeouts. I know it matters, but I'm not saying that. It's under 2 minutes left. Not Patrick Mahomes. He gave you the lead, and now it's Jalen Hurts with the ball with under 2 minutes left, and you got to go downfield. You can tie it, you can win it with a touchdown, or you can lose because you just don't get it done. It's the Super Bowl. And what I'm saying to you is that even though today, in this day and age where we see such stride and such a level of focus on getting the call right and depersonalizing everything, the reality of the situation is that when you're talking about the Super Bowl, with a game like that, tied 35-35 at that particular moment, what I wanted to see was that. I wanted to see Kansas City take the lead, and I wanted to see Jalen Hurts have the football. And I understand you're saying, again, the call was the right call, but there are many times throughout sports history where the right call gets missed or the wrong call gets made. It's happened throughout sports. Many champions have been crowned as champions. When that has happened, it would have been nice to see that yesterday.
Listen, Arian Foster, the official didn't read the script, okay?
I understand what I'm saying.
The thing is this, though. What happens is, and because we're doing all of these ifs, what happens is if they miss that call, and let's say Harrison Butker misses the field goal, and now the Philadelphia Eagles go down and kick for 3, we're talking about this call anyway, because now we're asking, was the forever, even though I've been saved? That ain't how it works.
Let's get to the next show. Fuck them, man. Y'all know how I feel about the call, bro. Shouldn't have been called, honestly, bro. If we was calling that, bro, they should have been calling holding and PIs all game, because I seen multiple, bro. It seemed like they was letting them play every play out, except for that one, bro. It's cool, bro. Jalen Hurts will be back next year, man. That's gonna conclude this video. Drop a big like on this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. You know what I'm saying? I hope everybody watching this video is having a blessed, positive day. Spread that positive energy, and I promise it's gonna come back to you. Besides that, it's your boy Sam. 2 times I'm gonna get up out of here. God bless you, man.